Thank you, Ms. Gillard. Now, as a leader, there is of course no shortage of people wanting to take you down if you try and upset the status quo. Change management talks about pacing the work, not implementing change too quickly, and ensuring that you first create trust amongst your stakeholders so that they are prepared to come along on the journey. One of the limitations of having taken on this position only months before seeking election is holding out on the ETS and gay marriage, for example, a part of this careful pacing, Ms. Spillard, or do you think impotency can be a female characteristic?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say female impotence is not something you hear every day, and there's a reason for that. Thank you.
Nothing on the ETS and the gay marriage?
Well, as far as my position on gay marriage, I'm very clear. Firstly, I'd like to say, why do the gay people want to get into something all the heterosexuals are screaming to get out of? And secondly, my parents taught me that once you're married, it's the same sex every night. Nobody wants that.
May I add something in relation to the gay marriage?
Please do. Why don't you make this 3 hours long?
Well, why not? We've got all the time in the world. They're only university students that have got nowhere to go. Other than their lectures, there's really nowhere to go, and they can just plagiarise on someone from Wollongong University who's just finished their PhD in reference to something that happened about 17 years ago that no one here got. I don't believe in same-sex marriage because I don't believe it's right for heterosexual couples. I mean, the conversation would go as follows. Barry, where are you getting married? Oh, we know we're getting married at the RSL Club. We're having the Cold Chisel Tribute Band. Dennis, where are you getting married? We're getting married at the Hyatt, and we're having the cast of Wicked. You can't compete. Heterosexual people feel inferior enough. Why heterosexual people continuously have to be marginalised and be it's just not fair.
Thank you, Ms. Gillard. And actually, this one's going to be to you too. Can you tell us about your work-life balance? We see Tony partaking, if you don't mind, I'm interrupting you. And
I'm sorry about that tends to be a bit of a habit.
We see Tony partaking in sport and manly activities, thank goodness for that. How do you get your release?
How do I get I think that's a great question, Julie. Thank you for asking to me and for me and by me, fuck by all for free. I believe what I like to do. How do I unwind? How do I relax? How do I find the balance? I like to post for the cover for Women's Weekly magazines. That's what I like to do. I find it makes me feel like Lisa McCune. It does. It really doesn't feel like an absolute star, and I particularly like it with the graphic people. They can airbrush out the opinion polls. I really like it. It's relaxing and uplifting.
Thank you, Ms. Gillard. To the real Julia, no offence.
Yes, we will.
If you were to make the keynote address at the upcoming Festival of Dangerous Ideas, what would be your dangerous idea?
Well, I believe that the most dangerous idea that we have had as Julia is to find a way to fill the $1.5 billion hole left by the win-win negotiations with the mine, and that is to put a tax on something the Liberal Party have buckets of to contribute: hate, fear-mongering and bullying. And that is why my unreal government will be taxing Kyle Sandilands and all talkback kings who earn more than the devil for flapping their offensive gums.
Well, I believe that I would excel teaching subjects like home economics. For example, how to use a microwave, how to build upon the duties of a housekeeper. I would also like to teach young women home science and about reproduction, that is, how not to have a baby and how to have a life.
That's right. And I'll also be offering an education system on how to bully me. It's a personality replacement program, so if you're unsuccessful, I will send you the guidelines on how to bully me. We're all me, it's not that hard, you can bully Prime Minister too.
And it only takes a day.
Oh, a week, $9 a week from one of those $2 shops. I got overcharged by $7. Matt's lost quite my thing.
Okay, we've got a little game here to play on Miss Spillard. I'm sorry for the French, it's another language I have under my collar. Fuck, chuck, or marry. Kev, Annabelle Crabb, and Tim Flannery.
Does that mean who would we, if you see Kyle, who would we see?
You have to choose out of those three people, Kev, Annabelle, or Tim Flannery. You just
Well,
want
I've
to
already
swear
got
again.
Kev.
I'll take it.
And I'd marry Annabelle Crabb if same-sex marriage.
Okay, moving on. If Minister Penny Wong invited you to her overseas wedding, would you go, Miss Gillard?
I do like Penny Wong. I believe she's Minister for Same-Sex Climate Change. I do like the Lezo wedding. I will say Lezo, I can say that because I used to live next door to a heterosexual man that had a cousin who lived across the road in Western Australia near Adelaide that knew someone that was a lesbian. I do like a lesbian wedding. They usually happen in places like Marrickville and Dulwich Hill and mud-brick vegetarian homes. You usually have to bring a plate because they're saving up to pay off their PhDs so they can work in the social workers and feminist bookstores, ladies and gentlemen. Usually have to bring a plate too, and the honeymoon usually takes place at an ex-girlfriend that they both happen to go out with and blew out, and so I do like them. They're very eventful. They usually, the nuptials take place by the two border collies, Portia and Ella, and then I do really like Portia and Ella. They did try and hump my leg though.
That's right, and I believe all the Julias will agree with me that we do appreciate hard liquors.
Good animal love. What really happened between you and Kev that night, Miss Spillard?
Well, the conversation kicked off with who we thought was going to win MasterChef, and it came to a bit of a shock about that. I believe I take with me to the grave the story of what happened with Kevin that night, but let's just suffice it to say that I believe a government that rewards hard work, that rewards dedication, with a nice lie down and a long holiday on a slow boat to China.
And now, Miss Gillard, what really happened with you and the miners?
Well, with regard to the super profit mining resources tax, well, let me just say that I believe there's no silver bullet. The buck stops here, work, choice, education, revolution, national broadband network, or put simply, I am thrusting my legs open to the mining industry.
That's right, and to the small miners, scratchy and sniffy and dopey, I'd just like to say that there's nothing wrong with feeling happy if it's consensual.
Unless it's with a young liberal, of course.
Given that we have what looks like a mirror image in front of us tonight, how would you answer the charge that Labor and Liberal parties are mirroring each other's policies and there's no real difference between the two parties?
Sorry, I'm the Britney Spears, Julia Gillard. I had to mind that.
You just lost your auto cue. Okay. Does the sound of your own voice ever annoy you?
No, actually, it gives me the horn, that's what it does. I really enjoy, I'm very proud of my voice, I'm very proud of my vocal folds. I like to get up in the morning and meditate and chant, and please feel free to chant along with me, girls and lovely studio audience. Hey, shy, my, no, moving forward.
Who do you think Mark Latham's antics, Miss Gillard, are making happier? The Liberal Party members, men, or the Channel 9 executives? Sorry, Liberal Party numbers men or the Channel 9 executives?
Oh, well, As far as Mark Latham goes, and as far as Channel 9 goes, I think that we've been shown that the commercial media is all for typewriter Tony Abbott winning the next election, and the ABC kind of likes me because Kerry O'Brien's got a soft spot for me. Mark Latham has a terrible syndrome called relevance deprivation syndrome. Bent on revenge, and unfortunately success is the best revenge, and he's had none of that.
I do believe he's had some success, Julie. He's written a fantastic autobiography called The Mark Latham Diaries, which I believe is now decomposing near one of those app crunches at one of the landfills somewhere in Tempe. He's had amazing success there.
Thank you so much for Butlers In The Buff. They told us a day ago that we would have to provide our own budgie smugglers, and we thought, oh shit, where are we going to find them? So we called Budgie Smugglers, and they sponsored with Budgie Smugglers. So thank you to them as well.
And I'm trying to have a Nazi. Have a Nazi, we've got any? Oh, sorry.
I don't do home brand stupid generic chips, sorry.
It's just how I like my cheese on the stick.
Okay, thank you so much everybody, and thank you to the Loft as well for letting us